for sparing your time in the late evening for Provis, and I'm sure that Provis is going to be a very beneficial database for all the researchers and the faculty members of the college, and will help in the research work. Before I start with Provis, I had shared the user ID and the password with most of the faculty members. I'll just take a few minutes to explain that those who have not been able to download the database can do it, and how to do it that. So there is a website called provisiq.cmi.com. So to start this database, let me mention this URL here so that it is visible to all of you. This is the website called provisiq.cmi.com. When you visit this URL, this is the page which pops up. And this is a section called download section. It's a very small user interface because the database resides in CMI server. So this gives you an interface to download it. It's just 12.5 MB of space is required. And you can download it. So just click here, download. The moment you download this, exe setup will be downloaded. From the download, you have to just run the setup. And once you run the setup, an icon of Provis is, will be placed on your desktop. So that's how you have to get started with. Now, once you get the icon of Provis, you have to just double click and log in with the user ID and the password, which you have already. There are few faculty members for whom a new password would have not been sent, as they had been the old user of Provis. So you have to just put in forgot password to generate a new password, just in case you do not remember your password. Or feel free to reach me in case you reach any kind of support to access the database. Now this website also, now once you're there in the campus, the same user ID and the password will work for your campus as well. But in the campus, you do not need to log in here. It will automatically show that it is available on the IP range, whereas from home you need to log in here with your user ID and the password. So Provis IQ is a database on 50,000 companies. And as the Krishna ma'am rightly said that, this is the largest database on Indian companies, which covers not only the listed, but as well as the unlisted and the private limited companies also. The basic background of Provis is, is that, the source of the information. And there is the advantage that, there is only one source of information for Provis, which is the annual report of the companies. An annual report is a document, and especially the Indian companies give a very great disclosures in the annual report. So we try to look at all companies which are there in the registrar of companies and try to see that, which companies can become a part of Provis. Though there is no survival bias, we do not pick and choose companies based on revenue, size, or any other criteria. The only criteria to include any company in the database is the company should be complete with the annual report. Now, reason being that why annual report is an important information, especially when I say complete, it should be complete with all notes and schedules. Because annual report of Indian companies are very heterogeneous in the disclosures. Like, company choose their way to disclose the results within the purview of course, the corporate law. And that heterogeneity varies from company to company. So hence, when any researchers or any analysis has to be done using the database, the information disclosures, which is heterogeneous in nature, will not help in doing so. And hence we standardize those heterogeneity to make it available at one platform where, where the information can be comparable across the years, across the period. So there is only one survival bias that, if any company has got the complete annual report, we do include that database company in our database. So that's the basic criteria of the database. Now, if you see this website, provisiq.cmi.com, this website has got certain features which will help you. This is a support site which is filled with the knowledge base. So knowledge base will give you lots of information with respect to what is Provis, what kind of companies are being covered. So, rule of inclusion. So I gave a very brief information on, how do we select companies. But as a researcher, this can be a very important input for the research work when you say that, whether your company selection for your research study is biased or not. So you can, as a researcher, you can go through these sections in detail and understand that, what can be incorporated, and it can be part of an annexure of your reports also, research papers as well. The most important aspect of this database is the database dictionary. Now, what happens that, as I said, that the information disclosure varies from company to company. We standardize this disclosure, and to make our users understand that how disclosures are available and how we have standardized it, we have got these definitions available here. And this is the kind of, I would say, the Bible for Provis, the basic concept that builds from here. So I will suggest that all users should refer to these document, and it explains that how a particular field has been calculated. Now, typically saying that when we look at these disclosures in the annual report, and when we database in the database, the intention is not to make a database of the actual disclosure, but the intention is to make the database to have information which makes meaningful analysis, which help us to make meaningful analysis. And that is only possible once it is standardized and same across the years, across the companies. So we have got a definition for each field. And that's the reason at times the numbers coming from Provis will not match with the annual report. So for the users who have not used Provis in past, might get a worry that the information coming from Provis is not correct. And hence it is important that these definitions can be seen, that how information has been calculated in Provis. Like the sales is a gross figure which includes all indirect taxes, rates, and rebates and discounts, but it do not include prior period and extraordinary income, which is non-recurring in nature. So whenever that information is there in annual report, we deduct that information and then we present the sales number. Similarly, sales is the sum of industrial goods, and industrial goods includes all these indicators to define a sales. So every field has got a definition here, and as a user you can refer to these fields here, and will be useful. In case if you're still confused and not clear that how these fields have been defined, you can use this section called Seek Clarification. So this is an online help where you as a user can post your query. The queries can be as simple as on operating issues like installation of the interface. If anyone is still facing a problem after downloading and unable to install it, you can put in here. Or how to operate the product to extract the data. So for example, if you want to extract some data, say BSE 30 companies with their 20 years of information, how do I take out that data? So when you put in your query here, you have to just click in here, type in your query and post it. And it will, there is a backend team who will respond back with the steps on how to extract the data. Similarly, there is a data definition in the formulas. So you have gone through the formulas and still you want to be more sure that how these formulas have been defined, or a formula of a particular company, how it has been defined. You can ask search query and it can be responded back. So this is a very important section of Seek Clarification as well as the database dictionary. Apart from that, there is a news and extract section. Now this section gives you the access to all news articles, stock announcements, and notices, along with the annual report and annual report extracts of a company. So for example, if I type in any company, say ACC, so the moment I type in that name, the stock announcement, stock notices, and the news article will appear here for the ACC as a company. And this middle section will give you the access to the annual report, the historical annual report of the company. And for the ease of the users, what we have done, that we have given even the extracts of the annual report, because at times you do not need the complete annual report. So someone would require the notes to accounts, which is a very important document of the annual report. Those who are working on the information with respect to the corporate governance, so employee remuneration, corporate governance report can be a useful page to download and go through that information for the company. So likewise, depending upon the kind of data you're looking at from the annual report, the extracts can be used. Apart from the annual report extracts, we do provide the information with respect to the quarterly results and the rating rationales of the credit rating agencies who have rated the different rating instruments for the company. So this is what all is available in the news and extract section, and we can change the company, and this will also change. If I say Maruti Suzuki, the entire reports and the news article will change. So this is what you get from the Provis website. We'll move to the actual database now. And when you log into the database, this is the first screen which you get. This is being the first session. I'm just trying to be, to give you a very basic session so that, those who have not used Provis in past can understand and make use of the database. We'll also do an advanced session once you have started using the database. Feel free to ask any question if you have in between. So when you look at this database, there are two sections primarily. You can do two kind of work. One is that if you know a name of a company or set of name of a companies, you can simply type in those names and see all the information available on that company without running any kind of query. And the second is the query part, wherein you can build your query depending upon your research need and keep on building and filtering those companies depending upon your requirement. So the first section, and if you see left-hand side section from company sets, so there are, these are the query triggers. So company sets has got 3 query triggers: select company by name, companies in predefined sets. There's the user batches. Similarly, in each of these query triggers, there are sub-query triggers available. So there are close to 80 query triggers available here, which allows you to build your query. Now, to start with the basic query, that if I have to look at a company, so I can simply type in a name of a company like we did on the website as also. It's kind of a Google search. So it searches from the list of all 51,000 companies which is there in the database and throw up, it does a text search. So when I say ACC, it will search for all name which starts with ACC as the alphabet in their name. If I type in, say, Tata Motors, so I'll get Tata Motors. So, I can simply right click on the name of the company which I have typed in here and click on the report viewer / chart plotter, and it will take me to the section called report and the chart plotter. So if you see, the upper section has got report description and the lower section has got the section which is the company which we have selected. So we can toggle between the query builder to the report viewer and keep on building our list of companies. So for example, if we want a couple of more companies and say, I would like to take ACC also, and I double click, ACC appears here. I take, say, Dr. Reddy Lab also. So once I select these companies, and if I go to the report viewer, all those companies are uploaded here. So I can have list of companies here and see similar kind of information on each of those companies when I go through it. So if I select the first company and say one-page profile, so this gives you the one-page profile. It's a kind of snapshot on the performance of the company, which talks about the latest share price movement, the addresses of the company, the shareholding pattern. For the listed companies, you'll get the quarterly results here. These are the key stock prices indicators, board of directors of the company, and these are the annual financial results. And each of these can be seen in detail when we move to the other section. If you see here, there are 2 tabs available here. So standalone gives you the information on the individual performance of the company, whereas the consolidated results will give you access to the group company performance. So if I change from S to C, I can see the group company performance. So wherever you see S and C in the database, you can assume that it's either standalone or the consolidated, and depending upon your data need, you can always use these sections. If we move to the company classification, so what we do here, that we look at the company's annual report, and this is a very scientific process of mapping a company with respect to an industry, because a company's typically, if you say no company says that they belong to a particular industry. If you see any annual report, there are 3-4 NIC codes which are mentioned there, and which is the intention of the company to operate in. But at times, companies changes their activity also. So what we do, that we look at the product schedule and see the product revenue contribution, and the company which receives the 50 or more than 50% of the revenue from a particular product is termed as the main activity, and the company is mapped to that activity. So if you see Tata Motors, like in 2011, it was mapped as a commercial vehicle company, whereas from 12 onwards, it became a heavy commercial vehicle company. So commercial vehicle is a broad category, but the product profile showed that, they only specializes now into a heavy commercial vehicles. So company changes their activity, and we can track it across the board. Similarly, if we look at the Dr. Reddy lab, we can see that it belongs to industry group which is drugs and pharmaceuticals, but they are into drug formulation, and they have been consistently into drug formulation. So this is done every year after the release of the annual report. Provis team looks at the information disclosure and then do a remapping if it is required. And this mapping is very important with respect to the research work, that when you are building up a list of companies for your research for a particular industry, it is very important that it should be mapped to the correct industry. Otherwise, your research would go haywire. For each company, we do write a background note, which is 250 word note, which talks about the company's incorporation. And we also write a note on the, apart from the product, about the latest financial year performance, that how the company has performed in the latest FY. We do try to mention for each company that how is the debt position of the company. If the company is debt free or the low leveraged company, we do mention that in this report. So ownership and the governance report, which will be very useful for the HR faculties in doing the research. So apart from the equity ownership, which talks about that who all are the equity owners, which gives you numbers and percentage also. The equity holding pattern starts from 2001 onwards. That is the time it got mandated to be disclosed. The financial information is from 1989 onwards, and the stock market data is available from 1991 onwards. If we come down to the governance indicator, we can look at the board of directors and their remuneration. We do mention that whether there is a resignation date or appointment date of a director or not can be seen through the appointment and resignation. Also, the kind of directorship holding of that particular director in other company is also mentioned here. We do mention a trend in the director's remuneration. So what has been the trend in that? The board committee in the meetings. So this gives you the kind of, the board committees and the meetings being attended by these directors. So these are different kind of, boards. They have like corporate governance committee, corporate social responsibility committee, investment committee, management committee, and so on and so forth can be referred here. The composition of board of directors, which gives you the executive, non-executive director. So independent and non-independent also. We do mention here that what is the percentage of independent and non-independent directors in the board. The related party transaction data is also available, where you can see the transaction being held with the related party, related personnel, key parties, and the holding companies also can be seen from here. There's a subsidiaries, auditors, and the bankers detail. And those who are doing a study on the consolidated performance of the company can see the composition of the subsidiaries, that how over the year the number of subsidiaries have undergone change or not. Who all are the bankers and auditors of the company can also be seen. You can look at the quarterly performance of these companies for the listed companies. So this is the quarterly results. And if you see, these are various tabs available here. So by default, it gives you the value, and value is in rupees crores I have set up. You can look this data in terms of rupees million and other currencies as well, depending upon your data need. There are other tabs which are available here, which is GY, which when I click here, it gives me the year-on-year growth on those numbers. So this gives you the YOY. So this is the June quarter performance of 2020 over the June 19 numbers. Similarly, you can look at when I click on G, it gives you the growth over the previous quarter. So, this is period current to preceding quarter growth numbers. See that this is, we also provide the industry benchmark number. So when I click on GY, so what it does, it looks at the company's, the industry in which this company belongs to, and it gives you the aggregate performance benchmark number of the company versus the industry it has. And when we create this industry benchmark number, it incorporates all the listed companies in that particular industry. So being a Dr. Reddy lab, this will compare the Dr. Reddy lab versus the drugs and pharmaceutical companies for the listed companies. And at the bottom, it will give you the sample size which have been, taken into account to give you the benchmark numbers. So there is a difference between the peer benchmark and the industry benchmark. So industry benchmark is drugs and pharmaceuticals. When I click on the peer benchmark, what it does, it compares Dr. Reddy lab versus the drug formulation industry. Because the main product of the company is the drug formulation, which is a subset of the drugs and pharmaceutical as a sector. And when we run this report, this is a real-time generated report. It's not a fixed report. So it takes care of, so if you see here, it will change the sample size depending upon the various parameters. So what all it does beyond that, it also looks at that since Dr. Reddy lab is having a very high sales revenue. So it will pick up only those listed companies which are into drug formulations and have a very high sales revenue. Similarly, this is an Indian private sector owned company. So it will give you a benchmark with respect to those companies which are they're into drugs and pharmaceutical, but owned by the Indian private sector as a benchmark. So there are different kind of benchmark you get here in the peer benchmark. Similarly, if we move to the annual financial statements, when we do an industry benchmark here, it compares all kinds of companies, with whether it is listed, unlisted, or private limited, which belongs to this industry, is computed here for each year. And I'll suggest as a user that, once you start using the database, do select any company of your choice and go through each report of this report section, because this will help you in understanding that what is possible to get through Provis database. And mind it, every field available in this report is a queryable field. So you can build your query and do your research work using these fields. Now, if you get this report here, now what it does, it compares Dr. Reddy lab versus drugs and pharma sector. Now, why it is marked in red at the 2020 results? Because this year due to COVID, the disclosures have been pretty late. So the industry benchmark number is a very skewed number because only 129 companies have published their annual results here. So that's the reason it gives you this data in red. Once the maximum company in the sector gives you the output, then it becomes the normal black color. So the tabulations are same here, like GY, IY. IY is a very interesting thing which gives you the index number. So what it does, in fact, let me show you the value also. Now, by default, this report gives you the data for 10 years, but you have an option to look this data for the 20 years, 30 years. You can come here to the default section here and increase the sample size. So if I say the number of observation for this company should be 30 years, I can simply click on a refresh report. So this data will start from 30 years. So this is from 1991 onwards. We have got all this data available here. So depending upon my data need, I can keep on changing the number of observation. GY, that's a year-on-year growth, but IY gives you the indexed number and it's indexed annual. So what it does, that when we look at the IY, the last available year is made as a base 100 and then it gives you the index number. So you can quickly keep on changing. For example, if you want to make an index for every 10 years, you can always change this and refresh this. So the 10th year will become the base year. So now 2001 is the base year as 100. I can change this to 10 now. So now 2011 is the base year. So this is how the IY works here. Another information, a very useful information, which I think most of the old users have not seen it. We have introduced a trace back to the annual report. So though there is a database dictionary which explains you that how the numbers have been computed, but we also have given a trace back here. So for example, if you have to look at the sales of ACC, this Dr. Reddy Lab, which is 11,850 crores. Now, how it has been computed, we can simply click here, report data description. And when we click on the sales, this will give you the formula and the numbers that how it has been arrived. So this is basically a sum of industrial sales plus sum of non-financial services, which comes to 11,850.40 crores. Now, what goes into the computation of industrial sales, if we go to the level 2, so industrial sales use the addition of all these fields. Now, for this company has earned revenue from sales of goods, sales of scrap. There is a other industrial sales, which totals up to this, and there is a non-financial services income, which is 810 crores. There is A is mapped to each of these numbers, which is basically a trace to the annual report. So when I click on A of the sales of good, it will show me that page number 148 of the annual report has got this number reported. So when I click here, it will pop up that page of the annual report. So this, if you see, let me enlarge this. So this value has been picked up from this page of the annual report. Similarly, each of these fields, if I say sales of scrap, this is on the page number 149 of the annual report. The other industrial sales, which is the other operating income, which is available from on page number 149, and the income from non-financial services is again, which is license fee, and the service income, which is the addition, which gives you addition of these two as 810.50 crores. So this infuses a transparency and confidence among the researchers that whatever number you're going to consume from Provis is correctly picked from the annual report. And this is available for each year. If you see here, this is 2020, this is 2019, 2018. For each year, you can see these numbers. And across every field, these numbers can be traced back to the annual report. We are short of time, so I'm not taking to each of these reports, but I'll suggest that, do refer to these reports and go through it to understand that what all is available. There is another toggle here. So, in one toggle, we get the report viewer. In the second toggle, we get the chart plotter. So for the chart plotter also, we need to select the company. So if I go back to the query builder and I say all these three companies and go back, these three companies are available here. Now for these companies, I get the technical charts and non-technical charts. So if I click on the closing price, this gives you the technical chart for the listed companies. If you see here, this gives you the closing price for the last 365 days. I can increase the number of days. If I say 3650, it will give me the 10 years of closing price. I can plot in the event which has affected the movement of price. So these are the event flags. So when I refresh this, so these are the events which is plotted here on the timeline of the closing price. So this is the audited results, and the dividend was announced at this point of time. This was the ex-dividend date. There's the quarterly results disclosed here. This is also ex-dividend rate. So you can see that whether the events are impacting the performance of the stock market on the stock market by these companies can be seen from here. You have got all those technical charts available here. If I click on, say, index relative, and here I can compare the stock market performance of the script which we have picked up with any indices. So when I click here, I get the list of indices available here, and I want to compare this with, say, the Sensex companies, and I refresh this. So it will compare with the BSE 30 index versus ACC. So the green is the Sensex and the red one is the ACC. And this is the period, in last 365 days, this is the period when it outperformed the Sensex. So we can also enlarge it and see that what were the dates. So it was basically the 23rd of October when it actually surpassed the index performance. So we can, look at all these technical charts. There are indicator charts also. So what it does that it looks at all the reports which were there in the report viewer, and it gives you the indicator to plot the chart here. So if I click on, since the companies which I have selected as the non-financial companies, so I'll select the non-financial company report, and the executive summary was the report which we referred to. So let us open the executive summary. So what it does, we can plot the 5 series in the same chart, and in the indicator, what it does, it loads all the expression which was part of the report viewer of the executive summary. So, if you see here, the series 1 is the total income. If I want to change, take a second series as, say, total expenses, and I refresh this, I take the third series as say operating margin, and I want to plot in as a line item here. So it will plot in the operating margin with respect to the income and expenses of the company for the last 20 years. Here also I can change the number of observations. So this is the easiest way to work on Provis and start, getting used to Provis. You can export these charts as an image and use it for your reference further. Similarly, the report viewer also allows you to download these reports as an Excel file from here. So you can select the name of the companies and see the report and plot the chart. The second section is the queryable section where you can build your queries and search for the companies based on your data need. So when we move to the second section, which is select companies in predefined sets, we can search for the companies in a particular industry. So it can be from the industry classification, it can be from the listing status. So I can be specific to a particular indices of BSE, NSE, or I can say all NSE A group companies. I can pull list of companies from here. So for example, if I search for a company, say pharma companies, I can say I want to find out all the companies which are into drugs and pharmaceuticals. Now, when you build your query, the basic concept of query building is that there is a universe of 51,000 companies, and when you build your query, you are actually filtering out companies from that universe. So when I say that I want to find out drugs and pharmaceutical companies from my universe of 51,000 companies, I want to say that my domain should be all companies, which is 51,000 companies, and I want to create a new output sheet of companies, and hence I click here, send to new OSC. So our new output sheet, OSC belongs to output sheet of a company. So our new output sheet will be generated, which will have a list of drugs and pharmaceutical companies. Once you build this query, it goes to the queue and then processes it. When the processing is done, it starts blinking and gives you the output. So when I click on continue, this will give me all the companies which belongs to drugs and pharmaceutical as a sector. I'll repeat this process and I uncheck my selection and I say I want to find out all software company in the database. So I have got information technology, I have got computer software or ITES. So I said computer software. My domain should be all companies, and I say send to new OSC. So again, a new output sheet of a company will be generated, which will have this list of companies which belong to computer software as a sector. So I can have as many number of new sheets I want to, and I can create that. So there's a 1,289 companies which belong to software as a sector. Now, once we have got this list, we can keep on adding the data or filtering the information on these set of companies based on our criteria. So I'll go back to the query builder, and we can keep on building the data on that. So there is the addresses. If I need addresses of these companies, I can add that. There's the area of incorporation. If I want to study age of the company, possibly there can be a study that, pre-liberalization and post-liberalization. You can do that as well. There is an identity indicator, and this is a very useful indicator, which I suggest most of my user to add this for your research paper or the project which you are doing. So, because even though at the beginning you might feel that this is not very necessary, but at times it becomes very handy to look at these information. So, for example, there's a Provis company code, which is a unique code. So it should always be part of your study, because whenever you want to redo your study or refresh your study, you can always import these companies using Provis company code, which is unique. So what happens that you have an option to import the company name also from Excel file. But what if the company name has undergone change? You would not get that company, but the unique code remains same. So if Maruti HLL became HUL, your Excel file, when you upload it, the HLL will not pull that company, whereas company code is unique, and hence you'll get that. So it's a very important indicator, company code. Entity type, whether the company is public limited or a private limited company. There's a CIN code. These are some unique identity of the company which can always be referred to. The industry group it belongs to, what is the main product of the company, what is the NIC code and NIC name of the product they are into, what is the ownership group. So you can keep on selecting these, and especially those who are working on the stock market data. Do select the first trading date and the suspension date, because if you're looking at the time series data, you might see some data gap, and this can be a referral point that possibly during the data gap period the company was suspended from trading. So this gives you lots of answers to look at. So I select just few of them, and might change my domain as companies in current OSC, because I do not want to run this on all companies. What my intention is that I want to add this data to the list of companies we have in our output sheet. Hence, my domain changes to companies in the current output sheet of companies, and I click on add data to OSC. So this data will get added to the list of companies we have. I hope this is clear. I'm not letting any one of you confused. If you have any, do ask.
No, but what about if the company loses identity? About this code that you mentioned?
Yeah, so if the company loses identity, that would be in case of merger. That company will not exist, further. So that company will still belong to the database. We do not remove the company from the database. So when you pull back that company, it will give you the name of the company, and there will be merged name will be attached to it.
Okay.
So this is the the data, the identity indicator which we added, and it is added to the list of companies we have in our output sheet. So you have to toggle between the output view and the query builder to keep on building your queries further. So if we move to the query by annual financial statements, and I want to find out the companies from here with their financial information, so I can say I want to look at the total income of the company. When I click on to total income, if you see here, it gives you again an option to select the standalone and consolidated. If you want both, you can select both, or you can select any one of them. If you want to find out only those companies which are of a particular size, I can always say that I want only those companies which are more than 100 crore or say 500 crore. Again, you need to be sure that what currency you have picked here. So for example, I'm taking up that all the companies in software, the total income is more than 500 crores. Now it's very important that which date this condition is getting satisfied. So there's a query on date here. Before I type in a query on date here, this is a help on date, and as a user you can refer to that what are the different formats of dates available here, and you can use these formats. So typically year and the March month says that this is the FY ending. So what it does that when I say 2020-03, it will look at the 1920 FY. If I'm looking at the common size, I can use, consistently availability of the data. I say that I want to see 1 year and second year and third year and so on and so forth can be done. Or if I just want to see that I want this data from this period to this period, I can use this format, one period to another period. So let us begin one output here and say I want to find out those companies where the total income of these software companies should be 500 crores and above as on FY 2020-03. I change my domain as companies in current OSC, and I say I have an option. I say add data to OSC. When I do so, it will simply add a data, and those companies who is not satisfying my condition of 500 crores and above, it will keep those companies the field blank. Or I can simply click on retained match company. What it does that it will remove those companies which has not satisfied a condition of 500 crore as on FY 2020. So let us see this output first. So I got 32 companies which have satisfied a condition of 500 crores and above in the software as a sector, and this is my numbers. If I sort them in descending order, I can re-verify and cross-check. So this is 596 is the lowest number. Now for these companies, I can see a data for the longer period. So I go back and I say that I want to find out the data, the say total income data only, and I want to see it from 2010-03 to 2020. We already have 20, so we'll say 2019-03. So this is a range through which you can add the data, and I can have multiple data. I can select it, and I simply add this data. Either we can put in a year here, or we can put in a L here. We cannot leave that blank, and then we add this data. So we have got this data added from 2010 to 2020. So this is how we can populate the data in the database on the list of the companies we have. Now, next very useful information for the users is, if you see here, there is the output destination. So what happens that by default, the output destination is the output sheet of companies, which comes here as an output view. So whatever list of queries we built, it goes to the output view. But we do have other three options also. I'll cover the next two options today, and we'll talk about that fourth option in the advanced session. So there are many data points which do not come to the output sheet. It goes to the worksheet. Now what happens that why worksheet data is required? For example, if I have got a fixed set of companies but huge number of indicators for less number of the years, I can use this worksheet which transposes the data. So it helps me consuming the data way better. So what it does, it compares the company versus indicator. So indicator would come in the first column, and the companies and the timeline will be in the rows. So on one indicator, I can compare all the companies we have. The second worksheet option gives you an option with respect to where the timeline is more. So and that is very important when you're looking at the listing companies information. So if you looking at the daily closing price of the company, and you're looking at for say 10 years. So, the timeline is huge. So I can transpose this data and present it on the timeline basis. So my time will come in the first column, and companies and indicators will go into the rows. So this is an option for the every section wherein we can change this data and see the output. But there are few of the output which do not come in the output sheet. And those outputs are, for example, credit rating. Now, why these output would not come in the output sheet is the reason being, and you would notice that, in such cases, the output sheet of the company will have a blank rows, which means the data will not come in the output sheet. So, the reason being that if one company has got multiple entries, so a credit rating could be one of the example that a company can have multiple instruments being rated by different rating agencies in a particular financial year or on a particular timeline, and hence it cannot be represented into different rows and a column like we get the output in the output sheet of a company, and hence such data goes to the worksheet. Another option of the worksheet is the directors information, because the company can have a multiple directors. So before running this query, let me show this you also the section, and say if I'm looking at name of the directors and the managers or committee name and the designation. So here also a company has the multiple directors, and hence the data would not go into the worksheet. It will arrange the data with respect to the company, all the directors and the timeline, and then a next company and all the directors and the timeline. So there are few sections like, the director's name detail, the related party transaction detail, the bankers and auditors detail, the credit rating detail, and M&A detail. So there is a mergers and acquisition also, which again, there can be a multiple event during the M&A process of the company, will also be available on the worksheet. So let me show you one of the output for the worksheet. So if I want to see that, out of those companies which is there in our output sheet, what has been the rating status, and if we want to see that the rating status have been upgraded or downgraded or reaffirmed, and I send it to the, when I click on the worksheet, it gives me another option which is send to new worksheet. So when I click here, and this worksheet output will appear here under this section. So normally our output sheet appears under the output view, where the worksheet data will come here under the worksheet section. The kind of Excel file it looks like. So this gives you the output, which says that, the Birlasoft got a rating of 2 instruments. One was the cash credit, the second was the working capital loan, and which was the high upgraded to the highest safety, and this was the amount. So since, similarly, this company has got, multiple instruments which was rated by the rating agency called CRISIL, and their, rating was reaffirmed as the highest safety. So this is what the worksheet looked like. So typically when you see, you get the data either on the worksheet. So traditionally, most of the data, barring few like, credit rating, M&A, and board of directors kind of information, all data typically goes to the output sheet, but these are the exceptions where the data goes to the worksheet. So don't get confused. If you do not change this to the worksheet, what happens if I run the same query to the output and without changing it to worksheet? What it does, I have an option to send it to the new output sheet, because I cannot add this data to the output sheet. So what it does, it will just give you the name of the company without adding a data. So I have seen, many users getting stuck off that this data is not coming in my output sheet despite of the, my running the query. So do remember the output sheet and the worksheet option. So this gives you just the list of the companies, and no names are appearing here. Now going back to this query section, Under each of these query heads, there is a derived indicator. So there is a derived indicator of income, there is a derived indicator of profit, and each of the ratios of those indicators are available under the derived indicator. So if I'm looking at the profitability ratio, my margin over the income and the return on investment ratios are all available here. Similarly, if I go to the assets and I see derived indicator of assets, my liquidity ratio, working capital cycle ratio, the asset turnover ratio, all these ratios are available here. So do refer to all ratios from the derived indicator. For those who are working on the CSR disclosure, we do have included the data with respect to the CSR disclosure with respect to the Companies Act 2013, and we cover the data which mandates that the company's average profit for the 3 years and what is the amount earmarked for the spending on the CSR activity and the amount unspent. So one can run a query from here. Similarly, if we come up and say, if I'm looking at the expenses indicators, I can build my query that I want to find out all the companies where the power and fuel charges are X, or I say that I want to see the companies where the wages and salaries, what are the wages and salaries of these companies. So if I have multiple sheets here, if I want to go back and work on this sheet, so I can activate this sheet. The sheet which is active shows this blue C icon. If I want to activate this sheet, I can click here, set current sheet, and this sheet is active. Now for this sheet, if I want to find out that I want to find out the companies which are with their wages and salaries, and say these are what kind of companies? These are all okay. These are the pharma companies. So let us see that the companies and what are their wages and salaries, what are the royalty and technical know-how fee, if there is any. We can also look at the research and development expenditure of these companies, because pharma companies will enter the R&D expenses. And I want to find this data as on 2019-03. I change this domain as the companies in the current OFC, and I add this data to the list of companies. Or my query can start with that I want to find out all the companies where the advertising and distribution expenses is more than X crores. So I can build my query like that as well. So what I did not remove any company. I simply added the information for these companies to see the data. Now, if I want to sort them, that out of these companies, how many companies are spending on R&D? So close to, if you see the R&D expenditures, and if I scroll it down, so out of 895, close to 200 companies have got expenditure on R&D, and the most expenditures by expenditures of R&D, these are the top 10 companies like Cipla, Lupin, Dr. Reddy, and so on and so forth. So this is how we can build the query. We have reached the fag end of the session, and the idea was to walk you through that what are the key query triggers and how you can build your queries. I hope this was not complicated. You're feel free yourself to ask any question if you have. I would stop here because I would like to cover up more in the the next training session. The first training session should not be overloaded. So if you have any query, you can ask me.
Thank you so much, sir. Is there any query from any of the faculty members out here? So we can also text you or mail you if we have any query. Yes, sir. It was a very nice and enriching session, sir. Actually, I have been using it for more than 20 years, but I was not aware that we can also make these charts and there is so much more to this Provis, and now not just to extract the financial data. So thank you so much for this particular session. Surinder sir, would you like to say something?
Yeah, that just that just come to my thought that, he has touched the tip of the iceberg. And like in the beginning, when I was just trying to connect, so, this thought was coming to my mind, about few years before we went through this accreditation process. And one of the things those people in the team of accreditation pointed out about, you know, enhancing our research efforts. So this is one opportunity which comes where we can build in, I am just a student as of now, and we can build up a research community. So those who are our, like many of the faculties that I know are, guiding research students. And so we can, build up a kind of research community and leverage, this opportunity. So that will be great, I think.
Yes, sir.
So that's what come to my mind as of now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shuchi maybe wants to say something.
So this was very good session. As of now, only this thing, but I think number of things are to be learned to use this software, and I hope that all of us will use the software fruitfully for research purposes. Thank you, Rajiv sir.
Thank you, everyone. And indeed, what Professor Surinder said, that this was just tip of the iceberg, because Provis is unimaginably powerful query, and it is as simple as that. If you can write in a question in English, you can run such kind of query in Provis. So there's a lot of learning curve, and I would suggest that we are there to help all of you to learn the most of the Provis. And will participate as as a participant. That will be the learning curve for me as well, along with all of you in this journey. Thank you so much.
Hi, sir. I have one query, sir. This is Khushbu, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Connecting to you after a long time.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir, for a wonderful presentation again, because I have used it already, so I know much about it, but still, it's a wonderful session. Sir, one query I have that I wanted to know whether we can have an access to unemployment data.
No, you don't have access to unemployment data in Provis, but we have recently launched a website, and this is free of cost.
Okay.
This is unemploymentinIndia.cmi.com.
Yeah, I have seen it. Yeah.
And
But sir,
this
here
gives
the
you
thing
lots
is
of
that,
data, which is free of cost, and it gives you the data. There is a documents also which we release every quarter after every wave of the data.
Yeah, I've seen it. But sir, the thing is that the data is available only since I think 2016, not prior to that.
Yeah, actually, we started this survey in 2014. So prior to that, the survey was not done. And we found that there was a huge gap in the Indian statistical system, and NSSC data used to come with a big lag. And that's how, though we started building the sample size in 2009, but eventually the data started coming up from 14 onwards for most of the stuff. So that's
Is
the
it
reason.
possible to access the data prior to that from some of the source? Because I need basically monthly data. Annual data is available from the other sources, but I want monthly data. And for monthly data, I think we can only extract through Indian database, not from the
Yes.
other. So is there any way out to extract the
This
monthly
gives
data?
you the monthly data. So if you come to the data section, this
Sir, it is
gives
only
you.
available since 2016. I've already seen it, sir.
Okay. So you get this. I think monthly data is not available. Possibly it would be available from 14 onwards.
No, it is not, sir.
Let me check. Let me check that. Yeah, monthly data is from January 16 only.
Yeah, sir, I've already explored.
Actually, you know, the people of India, like population statistics, their ownership to assets, income and expenses were from 14 onwards. But yeah, employment was added later on. Yeah.
So is
So
there any way how to extract the data? Like you can suggest some source from where I can get it? Because
See,
it is not like the data is not
you
available. The
won't
data is
find
there.
monthly data from any other source, because monthly data is not compiled in India.
Mm,
So there, because like if you see here, we cover the NSSO data. There's a labor bureau data which comes, which will be
mm,
there, but it will be quarterly data. So if you're looking at
mm.
prior to 2016, you can look at the quarterly data from the labor bureau survey.
Okay, sir, I'll see it. So I'll see
So
it and
that's
I'll get
also
back to
only
you if there's
yeah,
an issue. I've
which is
already
always
seen it,
helpful.
but as of now, I don't remember because
Okay,
I left in between. I'll get back to you if there's some issue, so I'll connect with you.
sure,
So,
sure.
sir, I would request you to share your number or your mail ID on which we can drop a mail or
Yeah,
only through
yeah.
CMI.
I'll just type in here my email ID.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah.
So meanwhile, I want to ask one question. My name is Renu.
Yeah.
Is there any data related to mutual funds?
No,
Or
we do not have any data related to mutual funds.
okay, or from where we can assess? Any idea?
Mutual fund data, you can easily get it through AMFI website, because that's the only association which monitors the mutual fund data, and most of the data is available there on that website.
Which website, sir?
AMFI.
Can you type it?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Because this is the association for the mutual funds, so most of the data is available on this website.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Welcome. And I'm giving my number also.
Yeah.
So I have shared my email ID as well as the number.
Sir, one more thing. This is like not related to this Pravesh. May I ask this query? It's a very small query.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
With CEIC is also we can have an access to CEIC database.
No, because I do not work in CACIC anymore now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Thanks.
Anybody else who has any observation or any question? Okay, Shikha, then we can conclude.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. So we hope that before our next session, we all can just start working with Provis so that we have more queries and we can just put our questions on sir and he can answer all our queries. So before that, we'll start using and then we'll meet for the advanced session where sir was also telling about how to create a panel data using Provis. So we'll try if we can make use of that in our research. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all the faculty members for being a part of the session one today. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Rajesh,
everyone.
sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Sakshi, are you registered now with some department?